All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Rally Report podcast. So today's episode, we're going to preview the Windy City Open, the first platinum event of the year. So finally going to get some good coverage in 2022, but doing it a little different today than the usual formatting. So instead of going down every player down the draw, I thought it'd be better if we just talk about our picks on two contenders that we believe can win the draw and then two wildcards that we should be looking out for. I got two elite analysts who are on top of their games, I hope, joining us today, which is why we're obviously suited up. We got Vabuk Pahari coming back to the pod and another big-time individual, Yahya Ladiwala. They also got the meanest beards in the game, but unfortunately, Vabuk had to
I do right now. Yeah, Vabuk's slacking off.
Yeah.
But why don't we start? Why don't we start off by you guys?
These Americans have no idea what it's like to be an immigrant. That's the problem.
Our TSA is funny bad
to be an immigrant too.
But yeah, why don't we start off by you guys giving a little introduction about yourselves, your extensive squash background, and why you believe what you have to say today is of utmost importance to the listeners out there.
Vabuk, you're the returner. You go first.
My name is Vabuk. I've been playing squash since I was 21, so got 5 years of experience under my belt at this point, so very experienced individual, obviously. Still, I play here in the German Fourth League. We're in the Oberliga, and I'm still trying to go pro. So to everyone watching out there, better watch out.
Never quit on your dreams.
No, never quit on my dreams. And I train twice a week, so I'm for real,
Oh, that's
not one of these pros that they're just all talk. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
All right, now Yahya, you go ahead.
Yeah, I am Yahya. I'm from Princeton, New Jersey. I played squash at Wesleyan, and I think my biggest contribution was being Vabuk's first squash coach. Is that correct, Vabuk?
That is very true. Yes. Yes.
So all of this performance, that fourth division league in Germany, I'm taking the credit for.
That's true. Yep. He instilled the hunger in me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, guys,
all the fundamentals.
This is just fucking wonderful.
Exactly.
Wait, so are you guys both going to tune into the Super Bowl today?
Oh yeah, I actually just so I'm in Germany and it's 10 o'clock at night for me. So I actually just took a nap and woke up for this the podcast.
So yeah, I know you guys are both big football fans. So.
Huge.
I love the preparation going into the podcast. By the way.
Oh yeah,
appreciate that,
dude. I think Joe Burrow is gonna kill it. He's just gonna go into LA and just destroy it.
That's what my heart tells me too. How can we root against Joey Burrow? But that's just my heart. No, how can we root against him? You can't root against him.
Yeah, exactly.
People's man.
It's a fantastic. Yeah.
That being said, I don't know how he's going to win the game. The Rams are better. The Rams have a better defense, better offense, a better coach. Maybe the Bengals have better special teams.
Yeah, I think I got my money.
All of that was true about the Chiefs.
I know.
All of that was true about the Chiefs.
So the funny story is I have bet against the Bengals every single round of the playoffs. And every single round, I have been wrong.
So this is the round you're betting on it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to take them against the points today. Hopefully cut some losses. We'll see.
So funny. Okay. Enough about the Super Bowl. Let's get into this. Let's get into the Windy City Open. We're going to start off with the male side. Should we just list off who we think are the contenders first? Who wants to be in?
All right. Windy City Open. I mean, the first one that I'm going for, obviously, is Ali Farag.
Okay. So you got Farag, and then who else do you got for your contender?
I think Macon's gonna start doing well. He somehow does well in these American tournaments,
Okay.
I think America suits him, so I think he's gonna. I think this is gonna be his tournament, finally.
Fine, yeah, about time. How about you? Wait,
it is about time. Yeah.
How about you, Yahya? Who do you got for your contenders?
Contenders, I'm going with Paul Cole. I think he's going to spank Macon in the second round, third round, whenever they meet. Call me crazy. But I'm also going second pick, Marwan El Sharbagi. I think he's going to take down Farag in the second round, where I believe where they play, or third round. I forget when they meet, but whenever they meet, I think Marwan's going to win.
I think I think it's actually quarters that they're supposed to be.
I forget. They're going to meet at some point.
They're meeting in the quarterfinals.
And we were texting about this earlier, Sean. What's their record against each other?
So, Marwan and Farag's head-to-head.
Marwan's 7-4 all time against Farag.
Yeah, something like
7-4.
Like
It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing.
Yeah, and I love that. And I love that from Marwan. And I think he's going to come through once again.
So
Marwan just slaps Nick, Sean.
He's sick.
Mental thing. Marwan just slaps Nick.
Hold up. Like, Marwan does not slap Knicks. What are you talking
about? Marwan just, like, slaps it in, bro. Like, he plays
a
little dirty, you know? He plays a little dirty.
I love it.
I think, like, throws Farag off completely because he's such a goody two-shoes, you know?
Yeah, Farag's so nice. He's so nice.
Yeah, he's so nice.
He's so nice. He looks like such a gentleman to play. It's great to watch.
I know, exactly. You know?
So okay, I got Paul Cole winning this, and then a close second pick is Diego Elias.
I like that one.
I think I'm quite certain about these two picks. Should I start off by explaining why I think these two got it, and then I overlap with Yahya. So let's start with Paul Cole. If you guys look at the draw, he's got a really good draw in his hands, other than the quarterfinal matchup against Joel Macon. So he's got the bye on the first round. The second round, he's going to be seeded to play James Wilstrop and then Ian Yao. Those two are not going to give him trouble at all. No. I don't think. And then, so the only I think issue is Joel Macon, who he still has a great head-to-head with. So against Joel Macon, Paul Cole has an 8-2 lead on the head-to-head. But I do think it's going to be a difficult matchup because last time they played, Joel Macon absolutely outplayed him. But now the reason why I think he's passing this is because compared to Paul Cole's draw, everyone else has a harder draw. So Joel Macon's playing Kareem Gawad in the third round. That's a tough one.
Yeah, but Gawad's not been good.
Yeah, but you never know what you're going to get out of it.
Nah.
You never know.
Nah. He's not going to get a game.
You've lost all faith. You've lost all faith in Gawad. And then wait, in the semis, he's supposed to be seeded to play Momin or Dazuki. He doesn't lose. I don't think he's losing to either of them. Against Momin, he has a 7-5 head-to-head, and Dazuki, it's ridiculous. He's only lost to him once, and that was in 2017.
Well, speaking of Momin, you think he's going to beat Miguel Rodriguez? Rodriguez, I feel like he's been playing good squash.
I think he has, but I think Momin's too.
Momin just comes into some matches looking sleepy. I don't know.
I also think that about Rodriguez. I think
Rodriguez just shows up to matches not even wanting to play it. He just wants to kind of run around, do some parkour.
I think he just shows up for all fun.
I stumbled upon a Miguel Rodriguez match highlight and
but that is a tough.
That's where this is coming
second
from.
Round.
The one match that I watched.
I think if he's really serious, then like how he plays at the British Open, then it's really tough.
That's what's so odd about Rodriguez for me. You never know what you're gonna get out of him every tournament.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So that's a tough call. But okay, so moving on to Diego, I think the reason why he has a chance of winning this is, first of all, the top half of the draw is a toss-up for me. And I guess this kind of goes on to what Yahya was saying as well. The reason why I have is I think the only player that gives Diego a difficulty in the top half is Farag. But I don't think Farag's passing the quarterfinals against Marwan. So that's why I got Diego on it. And Diego also has an 8-1 head-to-head against Marwan.
That's crazy.
So that's pretty convincing to me.
That's crazy.
And I think the only outlier is Mohamed El Sharbagi, who none of us have listed as a contender.
Yeah, that's some massive disrespect. That's actually really,
that is a little massive. That's pretty egregious. He's been on hiatus.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't even know the form he's coming into.
But he comes back swinging, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I know.
Be playing with some
last
vengeance.
time he did something like that too, where he like took like 4 months off and he just came back. I think he was skinnier by like 15 pounds or something.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
Like a massive mother, just destroyed people.
That's the thing. We don't know what we're going to get out of him, which is why I can't put him up there. And I think a big thing for these players is match play fitness, and a lot of people, a lot of these players already had match exposure in 2022, even though they haven't been playing platinum events. So that's my case for Diego, and he kind of does well against Paul Cole. So in the case that
he recently
in the Motor City, so he's in form. He's in form. So that's the reason why I have him, mainly because I don't think Farag's passing the quarterfinals. So that's
a strong case for strong case
Yeah.
for Elias for sure. I have him as a wild card for very similar reasons. Also, he's been playing great squash in 2020. I feel like they're only going to continue that. But what you said about the draw, Sean, is spot on. Like for top half, I'm like looking at it now. No idea who can come out. It could be anyone. Like 6 guys.
Yeah, we could be all wrong if Farag just comes out. That's, Book's pick.
What do you mean all wrong? I got Farag to win everything, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, also, I think it matters so much, like, where you play, because, like, Farag, when he plays in the U.S., is just, like, ridiculously on.
That is a great point.
Like,
he
just, like, does not lose in the U.S., like, really that often. Like, TOC, like, fucking, what's it called, Windy City, like, he somehow, like, always does well when he plays in the U.S.
You know who beat him in 2017 TOC? Paul Cole.
Paul Cole, baby.
As a qualifier.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Rabbit Tendon, I think, will beat him, like, before that. I don't see his name on this contender list either, guys.
Little trust on Farag. But wait, okay, let's go to Book. Like, let's go with your picks. You want to give us a rundown of why you think the case for Farag and Joel Macon?
Yeah, like as I said with Farag, I don't think he loses in the States. He does very well, like in every tournament almost that he plays, like apart from the U.S. Open, I think, where he lost 3-0 to Macon, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So and like he's coming in form. Like he's been winning some tournaments like last year, right?
Yeah, he's won the Houston.
He did lose to like Cole a fair amount. He won Houston.
Yeah,
but I don't think Cole was there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been playing well, and like he's the top seed. Like
this is a big tournament for Farag, I think, because in March rankings, as we know, Paul Cole's taking over the #1 spot.
Of course,
and people are doubting him. We're a couple of us are doubting Farag already. That he's not even passing the quarterfinals. So.
Also, to be quite honest, I think Gregoire Marsh is beating Marwan El-Shorbagy.
There's no chance that's happening.
Yeah.
I think it's happening.
Quite an outrageous statement.
I'm telling you.
We're just slandering both Shorbagy brothers.
Come up, bro. Gregoire Marsh is on the come up at age, I don't know how old he is.
He's pretty old, I think.
Like 35 or something.
No, he's not 35. He's in his late 20s or early 30s.
Oh, really?
But a little...
He's 31. He's 31.
A little old to say come up, on the come up.
He is, though. Like, that's the thing. Like, in squash, it's like, they never really see, like, a world #1 that's, like, 21, 22.
You have to be careful about what we say about the Shorbagy brothers. We completely left out Muhammad, and now Vabuk saying Marwan's going to lose. We're going to kill Sean's chances of getting them on the podcast. They're going to hate us.
Yusuf's going to...
What are you doing?
Oh, that's a good point. That's another interesting matchup.
I think he's going to beat Muhammad El-Shorbagy.
Yusuf hasn't lost to Muhammad, I don't think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, I remember he beat him, like, in 5 in Qatar. Beat him in 4 again. I think in Egypt or something he beat him in 5, and then he beat him in 4.
Yeah, let me pull up the head-to-head with Mohammed and Yusuf. But you want to go ahead and talk about Joel Macon?
That's one. And then Joel Macon, like, I think he's in for, like, a big, what do you call it? What's it called?
Breakthrough?
Like, a big breakthrough?
Yeah.
First of all, maybe Paul Cole, he's got like maybe like a little bit of hangover, being like, I'm the new number one bitch, like like that's like give me some respect. Yeah, he also does very well in like when he plays in the States. Like I remember like 3 years ago, he almost if he can stay healthy, like. I remember 3 years ago when Gawad was like, like at the top of his game, and he was just up like 2-0 against him.
Dude, Macon has this. Macon has this thing. Macon has this thing where he's 2-love up, and then his body breaks down.
And then he's
he can't last.
And I think he can push through it. He can push through the intensity, and I think he's gonna kill it.
Well, that interesting enough. I feel like Paul Cole is a good comp for Joel Macon. Like they're very, very similar in terms of like their endurance. And Paul Cole, the same issue of like, I feel like in 2017, 2018, getting to these long matches, he's diving all over the court and he's just exhausted. Like Farag would just move him like everywhere. And like now, I think, who do you have last on the podcast, Sean? Was it Patrick Rooney? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Patrick Rooney on.
Wasn't he saying that like now Cole in his training, like he can send him the wrong way, but Cole is still getting there. And that's how Farag was beating him in the most part, like 2 years ago, like sending him the wrong way, especially like from the front. And if Cole can actually get there and like contend and like not get tired anymore, that's enormous. Like that is so enormous to have.
Yeah, and the thing with Macon is, despite him not winning a title, he's beaten all the top guys pretty much.
Yeah,
he has wins under his belt against Farag. He has wins.
Wait, he hasn't beaten Shabagi.
Mohammed?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he has.
I think he's beaten him like 4 years ago at like Channel Vass or something, but that was
Is that right?
Yeah.
No, he has beaten him in the
like a 6-minute rally.
He's beaten him in the 2021 Black Ball quarterfinals.
Oh, that's recent.
Oh, he did. Okay.
And 5. They go to 5 all the time, but also I think with Macon, the thing is his draw. His draw is only Paul Cole. I think the threats are Paul Cole, Tarek Momin, and Ferris Suzuki. So
forgetting about Ian Yao. I love that.
Dude, Ian Yao's not passing court.
I know he's not, but I just love he's like the most nimble, like 99 agility rating. He is awesome. Like, I love it.
Dude,
I have him on my Wildcards.
NG.
Yeah.
Dude, we saw him play.
Yeah, we did see him play. He's come a long way. He's coming a long way.
Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I think actually, I don't trust him.
Wait, let's move to Yahya's picks. Let's give him a chance to speak about Paul Cole and Marwan El Shorbagy.
Well, Paul Cole, not much to say except that he's like, as you said, currently the number one player in the world, about to be, if not already. The draw is looking really, really good for him. He's coming off this win against Farag. What Patrick Rooney said, I'm really taken to the bank. Like he just trained with him, and he's saying he's playing as well as he can remember. I love his coach. I think he's got the coach figured out. So I think Paul Cole's a pretty safe bet for this, especially if we think Farag might go out early. That's really what this kind of depends on. Like if Farag's playing Cole, that's going to be a great match. That could really go either way. But if Farag loses, I think it's Paul Cole's tournament. And then Marwan, because if Marwan beats Farag, I think he has the best shot to knock off Cole from the people that we see.
Yeah, Marwan has experience winning titles, so that should not be accounted out.
And I think he's like often slept on, and he's good for like one tournament a year, a couple tournaments a year. Why not this one?
That's a good point.
He's good for a couple.
Good point.
Like, why not this one?
He does show up.
Especially if Paul Cole, like, if Farag goes out early, Cole may like start thinking that he has this one in the bag, like let off the gas a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna go down to the wild cards we have now. So for me, I picked Victor Kruin and Ferris Suzuki as my wild cards. Who do you guys have for your wild cards?
Oh, I got some great Europeans here.
Oh yeah,
I got Bon Malaise from France and Steinman,
the Swiss guy.
Yeah, Swiss guy. Okay. You know, Bon Malaise plays for a club that's like an hour away from me.
Oh my god. You should.
I could actually go see him play like Liga anytime I want.
He's in form. I think he's a player to watch for 2022.
He is.
Tell me about these guys. I don't know either of them.
Okay, well, Bon Malaise is just this. He just started getting good, and he's just like a ridiculous retriever, I think. So. think the first big match he had is I think he went to like 4 or 5 with Gawad at TOC, and he was just like retrieving everything.
He's also taken Joel Macon to 4.
Yeah,
so he's a good retriever. Obviously, he's got that French background. They're all good movers over there, and he's really blossoming. And I think another interesting point to bring up is his rematch against Pat Rooney versus their first round.
And he beat Rooney 3-0, right?
In 3-0. So I know Pat's fired up about that matchup, but I think I agree. I think he's a player to watch. Good pick for the wild card. And then, Book, you want to talk about the Swiss guy?
Yeah, I really like Steinman. He's been like really on the up and up like during the Corona time. So like I think he went from like basically being absolutely destroyed by Nicky Muller like 11-2, 11-3, 11-4 or something to like, being able to take like a game to like being able to like take him to 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he went to like the second or the third round at the U.S. Open. I just really like the way he plays.
He's got a strong base. He's a strong guy.
Yeah, he's like a really strong guy, like really open racket, like moves really well. He beat, I think, like at the U.S. Open, he beat like Greg Lobin and like whatever that American squash player is, the one from Princeton. What's his name? The American #1 guy.
Todd Harrity?
That guy.
Yeah.
Beat him. And like Todd Harity's like a fairly it's a solid player.
Also, I guess another interesting thing to bring up is his first match is against a strong player, Iker Perharas. They've gone to 5 the last time they played, which was in October.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good matchup for him to see, but we all know none of them are passing Diego. So that's that.
That won't be passing Diego, but like,
no chance. Yeah,
it'll still be, I think, like one of those things where it's like fun to watch because he just like runs around so much, and Diego's just like such a calm, cool guy. Just like hits a drop nice and tight on the wall.
So for me, for my first wild card, I got Victor Kruin. Now the reason why I picked him as a wild card is I think he's always had shitty draws in the Platinum events where he's paired up with Paul Cole. So he's never had an opportunity to really like show himself out. But I think he's got a really good draw on it. So he's got Cardenas from Mexico first round. I don't see any scenario where he loses that matchup. And now I think the interesting thing is he's seeded to play Yusuf second round. Now, the reason why I picked him is I don't think he's going to be phased by Yusuf at all, just because they're both in the college squash scene and they've played each other numerous times. I know on paper, Yusuf, playing on the lower 10, everything should be at his advantage. I think Victor plays very well under pressure, and I think Yusuf's going to be a little, feeling it for that one because he knows how good of a player Victor is, and they both know each other's games. So I think he's one to watch for this. And then I have to say Ferris, because Ferris Suzuki.
Because that's not really a wild card.
No, but the thing is, you never know what
it's not a fucking wild card.
But you never know what you're going to get out of it.
They're like one of the top players.
No,
like 4 years now, dude.
Well, let me explain this. I think he's the only player on the men's tour right now that when he's on form, he's actually unplayable.
Yeah,
I don't think I can say that about any other player. Like when he's on, no one's touching him, and if he does bring that, mental attitude and like that type of play, he's sweeping through this tournament. That's why, I know none of us put him as contenders, but because I don't know, he's a little bit of he's got a mental case on him, but
when he's hot, he's hot. I like the Suzuki pick.
Huh? Yeah.
He was injured. I think he was doing very well.
Yeah.
He had just black ball, and I think he got injured right after that. That's what fucked it.
But I did see him in the Motor City Open. He did look good, even though he lost to Diego in the final. But he cruised through Moment in the Motor City, so that's why I also think he's going to pass to the semis in this event.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I think he's a wild card. Dude. You also don't know if he's going to pass through. He might be injured the first round, and he might be out.
Dude, no, that guy actually slaps Snicks.
but he's got a tough drop.
Collapse them.
He's got Yusuf Suleiman first round, and then he got
I was about to
Mezin
say.
after that. So he's got a tough one.
He needs to be on if he's really going to make a push. But like you said, Sean, if he's hot, he can for sure get to the semis. Victor Kruin versus Yusuf, I feel like I have to go Yusuf. Like, I'm sorry, but
that's
Yusuf
fair.
is just like, I just watched both of them. Yusuf just seems bigger and stronger, and like he's just a shot maker. Like, I get that Victor has amazing movement, but I think we've seen that, especially early on in careers. Like, movement's great, but it doesn't like win you tournament matches like consistently.
Yeah. Okay, I agree, but also the issue with Yusuf, I think he plays well when he plays against players who are above him on the rankings, but he seems to tense up when he's playing someone who's coming at him below.
Think he plays down?
Yeah, so if you see his results, you actually do see a lot of upsets with Yusuf, even though he's ranked higher in the rankings. If you look at his results, if you look at the most recent Houston Open, he exited out early again to Yusuf Suleiman. Like, that's the type of pressure I'm talking about. He steps it up when he's playing top players, but he's kind of an outlier.
So interesting. You're right. Take Moment to 5, and then we'll lose to Suleiman in 3. Doesn't make any sense.
So that's why I think this is such interesting. But let's move on to Yahya's wildcards.
Don't yell at me, Vabuk. I don't know that Elias is too good to be considered a wild card, but I have Elias as the strong wild card.
What the fuck?
What do you mean? I have my top 2, and then who do I think could make a semis?
Wait, so
have a scare?
basically you got a top 2, and then from 3, everyone's just a wild card?
Wild card, yeah, of course, wild card.
Number 3?
I'm confident in my top
what
2. I just honestly couldn't leave Diego like off the list, just like given how good he is. Like, how do I not? Like, how could I not put him on this list? He's a wild card in any tournament, like in my opinion. And like you said, the draw in the top half is so open. Like, it's literally so open that he could for sure come out of it. And then second wild card, Ian Yao. Talk about movement. That is all movement.
Ian Yao, baby.
And I think he can grind it out. He definitely, like, when he seems to play like the top like guys, seems that it's always like a 3-0, like 11-5, 11-6, 11-7, like see you. But I just still believe in him. The draw is open in the bottom. Like, he has to go through Cole. Definitely a couple of tough matches, but I follow him on Instagram. I love the workouts he posts. So, Ian Yao, shout out. Big fan.
He's
social media
he's been a real
following
man.
is really big. Yeah,
I've been a huge NG fan. I was really hyping him up for the last podcast I did here. I thought he was gonna.
Oh right, he was matched up against Adrian Waller.
He was matched up against Adrian Waller. I actually went for like he's gonna beat us all again.
Yeah, dude, I remember that.
Just like
he's matched up again with Adrian Waller. I think he's supposed to play Adrian Waller again.
Yeah, he
Second round.
He is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a.
He has
past the first round.
He has a bye.
He has a bye.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
The thing with Ian Yao, I think, is he plays well, like, but for some reason when he's playing against top 10 players, he looks average.
Yeah,
he looks very average.
He just gets worked. I think he played Paul Cole like most recently. And it was just one of those 11-5, 3-0. Yeah, like was never really in the match.
Yeah, I think it takes him until the third set to actually get into any sort of a rhythm.
Yeah. Do you guys have any interesting matchups that you think we should be looking at in the for the men's side before we move on to the women's draw?
Let me check this out.
So I got one.
Yeah, man. Watch out for Bone Malays versus Macon, bro, because that's going to be big.
Oh, so you have him cruising through Pat Rooney?
Oh, yeah.
I know. I got to go for my boy, Pat. I got to go for my boy, Pat.
If Pat's watching, 3-0, Pat. Prove me wrong.
I do think
big fan of his blue strings. I need to see where I can buy these.
I've never seen blue strings. Yeah.
I know he has blue strings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I think an interesting matchup is George Parker versus Andrew Douglas.
Oh, dude, Doug.
Yeah, that's a tasty one.
Like he's about to just get thrown against the wall.
I think this is going to be an interesting one.
Oh no, I mean like literally thrown against the wall. I think he's like because I think George Parker's just gonna run into him and just like he's just gonna fly into the wall or something.
There's actually a lot of good first round matches. Yeah. So I picked that one in particular because obviously Andrew Douglas hasn't played a bunch of professional tournaments, and the most recent one he played, I think he made a comeback after a year and a half of not playing. He cruised through and won the title, even though that was like a 10K. Mm-hmm. But I think it'll be interesting because he's not been on a lot of people's radars because he's not been active. So I think that will be a good match.
Well, I think that leads in.
Douglas making it. Huh.
Well, to the second match, if Douglas wins, he'll play Gosel in the second round, and that one's a really good one. I like Gosel, and I think he's won this tournament before. He's a past winner. I was looking at the Wikipedia page.
Really, I didn't know Gosel has won it.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Let me look at the Wikipedia page real quick.
Oh, he has.
Yeah, there he is.
In 2012.
There he is.
Clearly, the tournament was not big enough.
Yeah, of course.
The one Indian guy on the tour, I love him.
There's another guy. There's like Mahesh something.
There are a bunch who are coming up, I think.
There's a guy named Mahesh that's on tour. He's like a humongous
Yeah.
He's humongous, dude. He's like 6 foot something.
Let's go.
I think last thing I do want to mention about the men's draw is I'm sure everyone is so excited about the Windy City Open right now, all these players in particular, because Asal's not playing in it because of the 2-month ban.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, it opens up for all. Because I think whenever he's in the draw, it puts everyone on alert.
I'm kind of upset that we're doing this pod together and Asal is not in the draw. Like, it'd be so much fun to be talking about him right now. But
we would have been talking about it.
Wait. So what happened with Asal? I actually don't fucking
So he got a 2-month ban. We're assuming that it had to do with something with his antics with the ref. We don't know like the specific details of what's happening.
Didn't the PSA say on-court conduct?
Like, what?
Yeah, so we don't really have the details. But
is there any precedent for this? Like, have they ever done this before for on-court conduct?
I think they're just like making it up. I don't think they've ever had a player like
they've had a couple incidents like this. I think Marwan actually went through something like this in 2018, but not to this degree. But
I just remember being little and like Gautier celebrations, like just being so crazy. It's like what? Like what's Asal doing that's any crazier than that? Like that guy was losing his mind on court.
Gautier fucking doing the splits.
Oh, I loved watching him play. It was so much fun to root for.
He added so much flavor. To the tour.
And he just tried so hard. He tried so hard.
The PSA. It really seems to me like they're literally trying to throw out their most exciting player.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like he literally clicks and eyeballs and tickets. Like, why would you want to ban him?
Yeah.
Like for what?
Exactly. Like literally.
Like what?
If Asal is in a video, I'm watching that video.
Of course.
Not the fucking squash, but just because I know the refs are gonna fuck him somehow.
Oh, 100%. Like, George Parker and Asal are my two favorite to watch because of the entertainment value they bring.
Yeah, but like I don't think George Parker gets fucked as hard as like Asal gets fucked because like literally anything he does is just like.
Well, dude, okay. Imagine George Parker in the top 10. I'm sure the PSO will be all over his ass with his.
I mean,
yeah.
All right. I don't want to say anything about a future guest possibly on your show.
But okay. Anyway, let's quickly move on then.
Quickly move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
good segue.
Does anyone have anything to add before we move on to the women's straw?
I think we've hit a lot of matchups. I think we're looking in good shape.
Yeah.
We talked about basically everyone who's in the second round.
Let's move on to the women's straw, which I think is also going to be incredibly entertaining. Now, the one thing before we go into it, I think we have to mention is, I think right now with the women's tour, I do think Nora El Sherbini, Nora Gohar, and Hania have kind of pulled away from the rest of the pack.
Yes.
That's why there's not
accurate. Yeah,
that's why in terms of contenders, I don't think there's a lot to, go around of like different names.
For Gina Kennedy.
But yeah, so I do think they have
big wild card energy.
That's a huge wild card. I do think the depth is unbelievable down in the women's tour right now, but other than outside the top 3. But I do think the top 3 have raised the bar and they're playing at a different level. So I said that because we do have a lot of overlap between our contenders for the women's draw. So I have Hania El Hamami winning it, and my second pick would be Nohan Gohar. How about you guys?
I'm going Sherbini to win it. Gohar second. I think Hamami is going to have a tough match against Gina Kennedy, which I think she plays second or third round. She may not even survive that one. I like Gina Kennedy a lot. So I'm going the top two, Sherbini and Gohar.
Okay. How about you, Book?
Yeah, I got Sherbini, and number 2 pick is El Hamami.
Yeah.
But
okay, so
yeah.
I'll start off with Hania. I think now we all know that she's got an insane second round matchup waiting for her in the form of Gina Kennedy. And to me, that is the only difficult match for her until the semifinals against El Sherbini. But yeah, I have to say, there's no way Gina Kennedy's passing Hania El Hamami.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely going to be like a big match for Gina Kennedy, and she'd be excited for it. And like, I think she mentioned on the pod, like when she plays some of these Egyptians, like it just seems like she's playing a different, like they're just in a different class. But Gina Kennedy's just so physical that she could even just tire her out, like Hamami out. And if that's the case, if they get into a really long, like 5-gamer, that could definitely affect her down the road.
No,
we're looking at the two fittest players, I think, just in terms of physical grinding it out. Hania is.
That's what I'm saying. The match could be a marathon, and that will take its toll. Especially if the second round.
So like,
what's up?
I like the match between. I think she played like Gohar. I think last week in Cleveland or something. Like, she just got.
See, this is the thing. This is why I
like 3-0.
This is the thing.
That's why I'm just like, I don't think she's touching any of the top females yet.
I think Gina Kennedy has raised the physical bar so up, but I think the top 3 women
high.
are already up there
so
physically.
High,
and their squash is immaculate. So
just skill wise.
And then I don't know if you've seen that match with Gohar versus Gina Kennedy, but Gohar makes her look very average.
Yeah, no,
like
for sure.
Yeah, like. She's working so hard to like get any points.
So, I mean, I do think there is a possibility of that being a marathon of a match, and who knows what Gina Kennedy can bring because she's always full of surprises in terms of that. But I don't know. I don't see her passing Hania, and I think also Hania's hunger and her passion is unmatched, and it's a little bit intimidating. I feel like I'd be intimidated if I step on court with her.
I think it'd be like Sean playing Gina Kennedy. Like, Sean would get absolutely wrecked.
Probably.
There's no shot. Especially not now.
No chance.
Yeah.
Even though, both of them were like former like NCAA, like squash team #1 people, like
same level, pretty much same level. I think the only threat for Hania is El Sherbini and Gohar, which she doesn't have the best head-to-heads, but I think as Vabuk was saying about Joel Micken, I think it's time she has won a title, but I think this will be a breakthrough year for her, for Hania. And then with Nohan Gohar, the reason why I put her up is the fact that she's got neither Hania or El Sherbini on her side of the draw just makes it so easy for her. And that's why I have her cruising through the finals. And, I was like looking up, there's obviously notable names in the bottom half with Joel King, Amanda Sobey, S.J. Perry, but none of those players to me have had phenomenal results as of late. And I do want to mention, though, Amanda does have a winning record against her, but has lost the last 3 previous outings.
Well, isn't Amanda also coming off COVID? I saw that on Instagram, possibly. Yeah,
she is coming off COVID.
Yeah, so I know she played a tournament and didn't do so hot, but I think it was like obviously because that can fuck with you. So I don't know what kind of form she's going to be in. I hope she's good though.
Yeah, I agree.
I also want to say, like, I think Norel Taib is back on tour, so
we do have to mention.
I think if she comes back to like her previous form, I think she's someone that I think could possibly take down like one of the 3 people. Like, not that's it. Like, and obviously, she I think just gave birth like some time ago.
Yeah.
But the don't know how good she's gonna be, but like she's also like she's been there for a while. And I think like if she's back to the way she was playing before motherhood, then like she could possibly give the top 3 people like a run for their money.
She was right up there before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why.
But the thing with her, I think we need, but she has a tough first round with Olivia Ficker. I hope I'm not butchering her last name. But
holy shit! I always thought that said Fletcher.
Oh
wow!
But
I had no idea. My bad. Fista.
But yeah, I think. I mean, I think a lot of us have Olivia as one of the wild cards as well. So we'll get into that. But yeah, you want to go into your contenders real quick?
Yeah. Well, contenders or wild cards?
Oh, right. Your contenders are. I mean, we're all talking about the same people here for the contenders.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, why don't we move on to the wild cards?
Yeah. So wild cards, Gina Kennedy, and then Amanda Sobey are my 2 wild cards. Amanda, hoping she's good coming off COVID. I think like she's going to go back to that top 5 in the world form pretty soon. I think she, like, out of all the people, I know you were saying about Taya Vabuk, but I think if she's playing her best squash, she's the biggest threat to that top 3, like that big 3 that we see in the top there. And then I just believe so much Gina Kennedy. She is so much fun to watch play that I just had to include. I'm just going to be rooting for her. So that's my wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's becoming a little bit of a fan favorite for the.
Dude, she is. Yeah. Like
she's awesome.
She's just pure grit too. You know, she just fucking runs for the ball.
You know what she reminds me?
All vegetarian.
She reminds.
She's all vegetarian.
Yeah. All vegetarian.
Clearly, Book didn't tune into the Gina Kennedy episode because we were going.
I did not. No,
but I think she kind of reminds me of Paul Cole when he was coming up.
Yeah,
but just at a way faster pace. You know what I mean? In terms of like physicality that she brings and the entertainment. But yeah, she's a fan favorite.
Wait, can you like you're gonna like post produce this, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good, because like I had like a natural reaction that thank God I didn't say it. So, like,
okay. But
you're like, she's going on.
I'm gonna put all of this.
You're
in,
yourself
actually.
Canceled, Vabuk.
I'm not editing
canceled by
shit
the
out of
squash
this.
community. Yeah.
I mean, I'm in Germany, so like they don't fucking dude. They don't listen to anything in English here. Like everything is dubbed.
Hey,
so unless you can dub this podcast in German somehow, like
Vabuk, the beauty of social media is that you're never safe. No matter where you are.
Okay, so for me, I put Olivia and Gina. I think it's like honestly not that fun of a wild card because I think at this point
you
there's
Gina
such
too, Sean? Let's go.
Yeah,
that's right. Do we all have Gina? We all have Gina.
Yeah, we all have Gina. Yeah.
Wow.
Is she even a wild card at this point?
I love that.
Is she even a wild card?
But
Sean, but like there's no one in the women's draw that I'm like. Oh, like like I've seen them play like really well against the top players or something,
Yeah, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help how the big 3 are pulling away because it doesn't open up the draw.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, like with the men's draw, I think like like when like Bon Melee's like like he's taken a set off of like or like a game off of like Macon. Or like like with the other ones, they've played against the top players and they've been competitive. But I don't know, in the women's league, it just seems like whenever they play like the top players, it's just like an 11-3, 11-6, 11-7 affair, and it's I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like the men's tennis with.
I do like Sabrina Sobey. I think she's also on the come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also want to mention Tina Gillis. She's also been playing phenomenally well. I feel like I should have mentioned her as a wild card. But yeah, I put Olivia in because I think she should be generating as much hype as Gina Kennedy.
Yeah,
with
that's a fair
her
point.
recent result.
Yeah, that's
she's
a really
been
good point.
flying through the rankings, and it's honestly kind of been low key. I know Amanda had COVID, but I think Olivia just outplayed her on both occasions in the U.S. Open and in their most recent
Cleveland.
In the Cleveland, yeah.
I mean, she only won that one 3-2. She won the first game 11-1, which makes me think that Amanda wasn't at her best, and then it got tighter towards the end. But I don't know. I'm looking at Feichter. Is that your name? How do you say it?
Thicker. We could all be butchering her name.
God. All right. I'm just gonna say Olivia.
Oh, Fifta.
Yeah.
It means fencer. It means
In
fencer
German?
in German.
Oh shit!
Huh.
There we go. Yeah.
That's wild.
Fechter is.
I have reached out to her. I have gotten no response for.
Brutal.
Oh,
Well, this
on
is
the
not going to
pod.
help the case, but it's all good.
Yeah. There we go. Just
We're
give her this German note. Did you know that your last name means fencer in German? Yeah.
But no, I put her in because I think she's got a really interesting draw on her side because obviously we don't know what we're going to get out of Noor with her coming. I don't know if she's fully going to be, in form. And then, so I'm having Olivia winning in that match. And then next up is S.J. Perry. I think S.J. Perry's a phenomenal player, but she hasn't been in form as of late. She's been, people have been causing upsets with her. And I think Olivia, with the level she's playing at, that could easily be an upset. But then after that, the Terminator, Nora Gora, comes in play and just absolutely just ruins everyone's chances.
Yeah, she's stone cold. She's so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, it really feels like the women's draw is like the top three are like the Djokovic, Federer, Nadal. It's like they're just in a class of their own.
Yeah,
you just can't touch them.
Yeah.
But
I think that's why Gina Kennedy is bringing so much attention because she could. in a year
she's
or two,
doing it. We so rarely
switch
see.
it up.
I so rarely see upsets. Maybe that's unfair to say, but
Yeah.
I just
But
the upsets are just rarer, I guess, on like the women's draw. That like when someone like Gina Kennedy can come in and just like wake her way to the semifinals, it's like, oh my god, like that is unbelievable. I've never seen that before.
yeah. I remember when I first started to watch squash, like every women's final was like El Walili versus Sherbini. Like there was nothing else.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a very common thing in like the women's tour that there's like.
Well, it was cool. I thought Amanda Sobey was, heading towards that top three level, but I know she took a little bit of a break with her tough schedule. But I do agree with you. I think if she is in form, she actually can cause problems for the top three. And she also, I got to point out, she has a winning record against Gohar. Putting that out on the
crazy.
head.
I didn't know that. Wow.
So
I did not know
that could be a case to be made. So does anyone have anything else to add for the women's draw? Or shall we? Any interesting matchups?
Yeah, I'm just going through it.
Well, it's tough because, as we mentioned.
I mean, yeah. Like I've seen. I feel like I know all of them. And I've seen all of them, and like, I
mean, that's why I think the wild cards are really important.
Things,
I think Olivia can really cause a problem on the draw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In terms of, and then I think also, I guess a good matchup is what's up.
No, I meant to ask you: did you find a way that we can bet on this tournament? Because we could all just place Gina Kennedy.
I can talk to you guys after the recording. I can talk to you guys after the recording.
Let's go.
And then we'll let the people know if we do a bet. But actually, I do want to mention. I think the Sabrina Sobey and Tina Gillis second round matchup will be fun to watch. I think they're both up and coming. They're seeded to play second round, so let's not forget that. And those two are also on the come up.
Cool. I'm coming over to what?
Are they sisters? This Tinny Gillis and the Neil Gillis, are they sisters?
Yeah, they're sisters.
Oh damn! Okay, I need to pay attention because I think I've seen Gillis at the last name for a while.
Wait, that's so funny that you're like, oh, I'm like, I'm so aware.
Which one it is? Well, I don't know. Like, it's Gillis. Like the last two letters of their first name is the same.
Well, there's a couple sibling duos, and on the tour who Sobey. You got Lucas Serm and Camille Serm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, but one's so much better than the other. Yeah,
brutal. So brutal.
And then
like so much better.
And then we got Mohammed and Marwan.
No,
that's totally fine. Dude.
Edit that out.
I'm not editing any of this out. I don't know why you keep telling me to edit shit out, which I'm not going to edit anything out.
Sean's had enough of editing. Editing everything.
It takes way too long, and I think it's funnier to put everything in.
Screw it. Yeah, just uncut.
Okay.
In German.
So, all right, I think I'm going to wrap it up there in terms of the draw. And I actually did want to do like a quick fire segment with a lot of my guests, and I just think I want to pull out a couple of questions that I think would be fun to do with you guys. As analysts, now, I just want to hear your perspective.
Finish my drink.
So I'm just gonna do.
My personal life is off limits.
Okay, so I'm gonna show like one squash later one. If you guys are 10-0 down in the fifth game, right? It's 2-all, 10-0 down in the fifth. Are you gonna go for it or you play it out?
I feel like I gotta go for it.
What?
You're about to get bageled in the fifth game. Would you play it out?
Pissed off.
Oh yeah, you go for it. Yeah,
you gotta go. I'd be so pissed off.
Yeah.
I've definitely been there. I think I've just gone for each time.
Yeah.
The times where I've been like, oh, I'm gonna try to like play out this point and like really try this, like get one the right way. It never works. It never works. I just end up losing and feel worse about myself.
Yeah. Also, it's like if I'm 10 left down, like I want to get the fuck out of there anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
I know exactly my like get the fuck out of there shot. It's the like off the serve, you hit like that boast, which is like hits the other wall.
The reverse post, yeah, the reverse post.
That one, yeah, that's
the reverse post.
Go to like what do you call it? Like I'm going for it shot. Yeah.
Okay.
Not good enough to slap Nick's. Yeah.
Okay, how about who do you guys think is the most underrated player on tour? Doesn't matter if it's female or male.
Most underrated.
Underrated player on tour.
I think it has to be Macon. Or Tsuki.
Okay. How about you, Boo?
Macon or Tsuki?
I don't know, man. I think it's Hesham, man. Hesham. People really underestimate that guy, but he can pull shit out.
That's a fair one. How about most overrated?
Player on
overrated
question. Yeah.
I feel like given that we all
Rodriguez.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
brutal.
Rodriguez.
Brutal. I feel like given that we all just set up Parag and losing the quarters, it might be Parag. Unfortunately.
Ooh, that's a big name. That's a big name.
It might. We all just agree he's going to lose in the quarter. Do we not? Oh no, you haven't.
That is true.
Yeah, you haven't winning. You haven't winning. Yeah, you haven't winning. Yeah, no. Parag, overrated.
Okay, now there's some fun ones. Okay, how about if you guys had to change your name, what would it be, and why would it be that name? This is a tough one because I feel like both your guys' names are awesome.
Yeah, I love my name. Why would I?
If you had to change your name,
yeah.
How?
All right, should I just pass on that? You guys have
I'm changing my name. I'm changing my name to
question.
Vabuk. I'd be Vabuk.
Yeah, there we go.
Other way around, flip flop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd change. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd change my name to Yahya.
How about
what would you change your name to? That's what I want to know,
dude.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. What would you change your name to?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like in terms of squash, I think speaking of squash, I think Sebastian Beaumoulin has such a good name.
Yeah, it has. That really rolls.
And he doesn't spell it. He doesn't spell it with an A. With Sebastian, it's Sebastian. So it's
yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
That's how the French do it. Yeah.
That's I think that's a pretty badass name.
That's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty
good. Guys, I'm gonna wrap it up there, folks, for this episode. Thanks for Yahya and Vabuk for joining in, and I'm sure we'll have these two back in the future as well.
Loved it. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.